Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. We're on top of Thomas's 2020 Ford Transit mid-roof van, and we're getting ready to finish up the roof. And before we did, I wanted to do a video kind of closing everything up, so when we get to the next part of this series, you guys can kind of understand where we're at. So where we're at today is we're working on sealing up the holes in the roof and then cutting new holes so that we can pass through cables for the antenna, and as well as the solar panel connections in the rear. The next video we're going to be doing is the electrical system, so we're getting this done first so that we can have the holes to run these wires down and into our battery bank. All right, so over here, let's bring the camera in. We are on top of the van and we have two seals that we're working with today. They're both by Strut, and these are cable seals for essentially from the marine industry, the boating industry. And we're using them on the van because it's perfect for this application. And what I wanted to show you in this video specifically was that when you put solar panels on your roof, some vehicles come with a satellite antenna. So this could be for XM or Sirius satellite radio, Ford communication, stuff like that. So that is the factory antenna, and this is the factory location for that antenna. Since we're putting solar panels on this van, the solar panel is blocking the signal, or it will block the signal. So when it's over here, we need to relocate it. I've decided to put it right up here in this corner. It's perfect because we got good protection with the fairing here as far as the wind and rain goes. And even though this is weather sealed at this location, once we move it from that location, Ford has a double seal on here. It has an outer and an inner seal, kind of like as a backup, and it snaps into the top of the roof. So what we're going to do is where these wires come through, there's about an 1/8 of an inch gap in here that we're going to fill up with silicone, and that will seal the wire input of this antenna. And then on the threads, this whole thing is one solid chunk of metal. All the circuits are sealed in here. And the other location will be using a Loctite to not only lock our threads, but seal that up here when we mount it. So once we mount it, or when we mount it, it's going to be right here. So it's going to be its new home. And we've went ahead and we're still using all the factory hardware. So we drilled out this hole to match the factory screw that it came with. So that's good. Now, when we're moving it from that location to here, we need to do something about this hole. So what we're doing is we're using this cable seal. And what's really nice about this is the shape. So it's almost the exact same shape, just shrunken down. Now what we want to do is have the ability to reuse this hole in the future. So say he changes his mind, he wants to change up the roof rack, put something on there different, and then take this antenna and move it back to the OEM location. I want to give him the option to do that. So it comes with this seal, and if you guys can look, this seal perfectly covers the diameter of that square cutout. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a little hole punch. We're going to be very careful with this because this roof is not, it's kind of flimsy. So I'm basically just using this hard steel end just to make our point, because I want to be very precise with this gasket, because we're going to be pre-drilling these holes, and then we'll use these supplied stainless screws that it comes with. Once this, we peel this adhesive off and we stick this seal down, next step is we will take our Strut plate. It comes in two pieces. There's a rubber seal right here, and let's see if I can pull that out. Hold on. Okay. So the kit comes with 6 millimeter, 7 millimeter, 8 millimeter, 9 millimeter pre-cut out holes, and a 10 millimeter. And then it comes with one called self-drill. The self-drill one, obviously, you can self-drill it whatever size you want. But what we're going to be using it for is to just plug the hole. So we're just going to take this piece, we're going to take our plug, since we're not drilling a hole in it, and then we're just going to pop it in there just like that. Now what's really cool is once we lay this on top of here, and we drill, we put our 4 screws in, and that clamps down. This is the cap. So what the cap does is the way that it comes on is it goes over the back, and then the front actually pushes down, and that is what seals, it squeezes the back piece of rubber and seals the hole. So you get a very professional seal. Even though nobody can see it, it still looks really nice. In the future, you can take that one screw out, then reseal the holes, and then you could actually take this antenna and put it back on there. So that's the whole thought process behind using this type of cable seal. Moving over here, we have this round style right here, and this round style looks like this. It's nice, heavy duty. It also has a big blank in here that we're actually going to drill out to a diameter enough so that we can squeeze in the end of this wire. The way that the satellite antenna is made, you can't actually cut and splice this wire because it's a shielded, like foil insulated wire. It's pretty technical, and yeah, just don't want to mess with that. So we're not going to do that. We have shaved the sides down here on the left and the right. There was a big square piece of plastic on the left and the right. Everything functions just the same, but we did that so that our hole penetration is as minimal as possible. So once we drill that and we put our cable through here, the next thing we want to do is find a suitable location to drill our new hole. We don't want to drill it so that it comes up under here and we can't access it. Same for here underneath the bracket. So just use common sense, and you guys can kind of see. We're going to put it right here. And that way it's kind of a nice square, and it's in the middle of everything to where you can access it. We can drill our hole, we can screw these, and we're good to go. But it's close enough that we can still make this, this cable run, because we are limited on the cable length. Hence why we are moving it from here to here and not just pulling the cable. We actually need to move it closer where it comes to the top of the van. So that's going to be our new location. Again, nice professional solution for relocating this. Since this is blank, once we drill our hole, what we're going to do is we're going to take liquid rubber and refill the hole, because there is, once that plug goes through, there will be a little bit of a void where the cable is kind of rattling around. So we'll mount this, put this in here, and once everything is tightened down, we'll use our liquid rubber. We'll put some tape on the back side so it doesn't go into the van, and then we'll pour it in and then let it set. And it's essentially going to create a duplicate of this rubber. Then we're going to take lap sealant, and we'll just squeeze out a little bit of lap sealant to make a puddle here on the top, just as some additional insurance, as well as lap sealant around this outside edge. So we'll do that there. We'll do that on this outside edge as well. And then that will be our antenna relocation, so we can take our solar panel and move it back over here, and we're all done. Next, I wanted to show you guys this waterproof cable gland kit. This is just a kit from Amazon. They give you a ton of different sizes, and instead of cutting out like a 2 to 3 inch hole in the roofs of the vans that I build, I like to do individual holes for cables. So solar panel wires are typically, one's positive, one's negative. So instead of getting that really big cable gland like the white or the black one that they sell or kind of give you for free in the kits, it's kind of like that cheap plastic, I like to do individual runs. So I'll drill one hole. I'll put this cable gland right here. It's got a compression fitting on the top of it, so it squeezes down, and then this diameter is very small diameter, so we're not taking out a lot of material from the roof. So that'll be for one cable, like the positive, and then we'll do another one for the negative. And so it's just very little material taken away, like I just said, and it makes a very clean install. And if something happens in the future, you can just unscrew this, pull the cable out, replace it if needed, and then close this back down, and you're good to go. So it does make it easier to service your solar panel wires. However, very unlikely that that would ever happen. And then last, we are going to be putting in Baja Designs LED light strip up here in the front. Now, we're not sure until the kit comes in the diameter of the cable. So the nice thing about having this kit is when it does come in, we've got an assortment to pick from, and we'll only be able to drill, it'll be easy because we have one hole we'll drill and wire that cable in, and we'll be good to go. So I like doing stuff this way because it makes it very neat, professional. These type of cable glands keep you from drilling, you're drilling more holes, but you're not drilling a big hole in the van, if that makes sense. You get to have holes dedicated to exactly where the equipment is on your roof. So the solar input will be over here on the right. The Baja Designs cable will be over here on the left driver's side. And we're not having to extend all of our cables all the way to just one main port over there. So yeah, that is update of the roof, because after this solar panel gets put into place, Baja Designs gets on, we're done with the roof. We'll be moving inside the van and beginning our power system completion. We've already got a little bit of the 80-20 put together to hold the batteries, and way back there in the shop we are actually using our Victron 30 amp lithium iron phosphate battery charger to top off the batteries before we put them in the van. And we'll be putting all that into a new video in the future, so look out for that one. If you guys have any question on how to seal up holes in your roof, put those in the comments below. I'll be happy to make or answer those questions in a future video. And until next time, we'll see you in the next video.